Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I'm going to have my cup of tea. This camera, I think, needs cleaning. Definitely needs cleaning. It looks a bit. Hang on, just hold on. Excuse my mouth for everyone to see. That's better. Excuse that. I hope you didn't get. Hello, Stacey. How are you today? I'm just going to put some sunscreen on. So I've got Jack off, not feeling well, feeling sick. And I feel a bit sick as well. So I think we're probably going down with something. Some kind of bug. Good, I'm glad, Stacey. I'm fine. I feel a little bit off colour today. Not disability related, just to feel a bit sick. And Jack woke up feeling sick and he's off school. So hopefully we're not coming down with something. It may just be tiredness. So I've got a nice big cup of tea. Nothing helps more than a cup of tea. I really wish I could do something about my glasses. I must go and check that out. Hi, Linda. So I'm going to put some magic cream on. So today, as I promised, I'm going to do a look just using the Celestial palette of pops. Is he poorly? Is he feeling sick then, Stacey? I wonder if there's a bug. Often you get stuff going round when the weather suddenly changes. And because it's going from summer to winter, that's often when all these things start flying around. Mind you, Jack's feeling hungry now, which is a good sign. I'm not. I just want my cup of tea. Ah, right. Well, I hope he gets well soon, Stacey. And how are you, Linda? So I've put on my magic cream and I'm going to put on my eye rescue. And I put my silk mask on to go to bed last night. And halfway through the night, I woke up and it was off. I think I pulled it off in my sleep. Because I'm probably not used to having it on. But my eyes did feel good this morning. You got the virus too. Oh no, is it a stomach virus? Because maybe that's it. Maybe we've all got a bit of a... Oh, he's only 3. Oh, bless him. The good thing about having things like that when you're 3 is you get over them really quickly. But they do pick up an awful lot at that age, I remember. No, flu-like. Okay. Maybe it's part and parcel of the same thing. So I've got navy nails today with sparkly bits on my thumb and on my little finger. There you go, look. Sparkles. Sparkles on my little finger and my thumb, and then just plain on the others. I'm really enjoying doing my nails. And they're starting to grow now after the move. Because the move really took its toll on my nails. Because I was doing stuff with tape and everything else. But I got a treatment and I've forgotten what it's called now. I'll post it below afterwards. But it is a treatment for nails that are in need of a bit of help. And it has helped them to start growing again. Because they were split and they were really painful, actually. Right, let's get some foundation on, shall we? Did you get my comment on the size of the magic cream? Oh, no, sorry, I haven't caught up with my comments. The website said 50 mils. You said yours was 30 mils. Ah, let me check, because I've got that with me. I can check for you. I am sure this is 30 mils, not 50. It doesn't look like 50, but I might be wrong. Let me just check. No, it is 50 mils. Well, that's even better value then. It's 50 mils. So that's even better value. Sorry, I thought that was my mistake then. I thought it was 30 mils. So 50 mils is £75. So for £75, you're getting a magic cream, which is £75. You're getting the small, let me just see if I can get this out. You're getting the small magic cream, which is £35. And you're getting the slip silk mask, which are £50 on the website. So it's even better value. So that's what, 75 and 50, 125 and 35, £160 worth of stuff in that box. My silk mask is upstairs now. But yes, sorry, that was my mistake. I thought it said 30 mils, but it doesn't. It's definitely 50. I've just looked at the thing. So that's a real bargain. Real bargain. Because, yeah, 50 mils is £75, isn't it? Can somebody just confirm that? I'm sure 50 mils is normally 70 or £75. 70. Right, okay, so 50 mils is £70. The small magic night cream is 35. So that's 105. And then 50 for the mask, 155. And the set is £75. So for a fiver, you're getting the mask and the night cream. The travel size night cream, that's really good. And the other thing is, if you're into your Charlotte Tilbury skincare, either getting that set, it says you are now live. It's sending me an email to tell me I'm live. The other set that you can get is that she bought out last Christmas, and I bought 2 of them. If you use Charlotte skincare every day, now is the time to either get that set or to get the set that's called, I've forgotten what it's called, but it's a trio. And in the trio, hello, Jill. In the trio, I'm going to say hello to you all in a minute. In the trio is a full size of the Eye Rescue, which is £40 worth. Then you've got a travel size of the night cream, which is £35. And you've got a travel size of the day cream, which is, I can't remember, but it's something like £30, the small size. And you get that for £50. And then if you look out, as you get nearer to Christmas, John Lewis take another 10% off it. So I got 2 last year, and it means you can get them for a lot cheaper than normally. But definitely have a look at the trio if you don't want to get the set with the mask. The set with the mask is great value. I can't believe that. It's got 50 mils in it. That's fantastic. Really good. So apologies for that. I'll put a little footnote on yesterday's video to correct my mistake. I thought I'd read that it was 30 mils and I hadn't taken it out of the box. So apologies for that. And I'm going to get my airbrush. I won't put on, I've put quite a bit of magic cream on, so I won't put on my flawless filter today. Let me just get a brush. Actually, what I've been doing, I'm going to do this first, is I've been putting on the Magic Vanish before my foundation. Just that it really kind of, the foundation covers it up. Now, if anybody says this is too orange for me, and I know Wayne talked about people applying concealer that looks, or correctors that look too orange, I would like to point out, no, I'm glad that you corrected me. I'm glad, because I hate it when I give out wrong information, and I would not have picked that up, so thank you. and I can direct people in my last video. Now, Wayne was talking about people putting on colour correctors that are too orange. I'd like to just point out that this corrector was picked for me by a Charlotte Tilbury senior makeup artist. So if it's the wrong colour, then that ain't down to me. But what I did after I got this Magic Vanish, I realised that the next shade down is too light for me. So I mix them. They sent me, I asked if I could have shade 2 when they sent me all that stuff. And they sent me shade 2. And I mix them because shade 2's too light and this one's a little bit too dark. But this was colour matched for me. Look, I look like I've been tangoed now, don't I? I was colour matched at the event by a senior Charlotte Tilbury makeup artist. So, just in case any of Wayne's followers are following me and going, YouTube is putting orange colour corrector on that's not the right shade for them. It's Charlotte Tilbury's makeup artist you can blame for that, not me. Where have I put the other one? Oh, I'm opening the box the wrong side. Did I get... Now, I haven't caught up, obviously, on a lot of comments here. So I'm just going to have a look at what you've said. Did you get my comment on Youth Glow? It's normally £39. You can get a set with Youth Glow and Travel Magic Cream for £40. Brilliant. That's even... I should do a video called Charlotte Skincare Bargains, shouldn't I? Shall I do one? I'll do one at the end of the week. And I'll have a look at all the sets that are out. And just let people know. It's definitely the time, if you have Charlotte, if you use Charlotte Skincare, now is the time to stock up. Because she does bring out an awful... That's why I said you always need to know. Can you see now when I put shade 2 over the top of that orange? It's perfect. Now is the time to stock up. You always need to know the price per mil of your Charlotte Tilbury items because then you know what a bargain is. So I'm just doing this with Magic Vanish and I'm combining shades 2 and 3 together. And that was my doing. So, you know, it's not always these YouTubers. I was... I'm sure he wasn't referring to me, but it made me feel self-conscious when he said it because I thought, there's me putting orange on, and that's because I was matched to it at the event, and I corrected it by getting shade 2 and mixing it. A YouTuber. Right, now let's put some foundation on. And I'm just getting a foundation brush. Right, let's catch up with some more comments. So any comments that you've made in the last day, it looks like I've missed quite a few. So I will be catching up on them, as you know. So, hello, Jill. Let's say hello to everyone. So hello, Jill Tyson. Hello, Stacey Frost. Hello, Linda Churchman. Hello, Gemma James. Hello, anyone else? Hello, Terry Fisher. Hello, I missed you there. Have I missed anyone else? No, that's it. Hello, all of you. And sorry, wasn't correcting, just wanted to make sure you got the right size. Don't worry, I'm glad. And thought as you use the Youth Glow. I do use the Youth Glow. I've still got loads of it left because it's not my favourite. Hello, Maria. Hello, Shahina. Oh, you're all joining me. I'm just going to put on... No, I'm going to mix them again. So I'm just mixing a bit of neutral. I look very orange in this light. It's because I've got my my big ring light on me and it's for some reason making me look a bit orange. I'm going to mix Airbrush Flawless in neutral and warm again. because it seems to be perfect when I mix 7.5 neutral and 7.5 warm together. It gives me the best effect. So I just put a little bit there and just dotting it lightly around my skin. Tiny little bit. Cover that big red thing on my nose from my glasses. And to be quite honest, I'll tell you something. If you get the Flawless filter, I don't know what that was. Okay. If you get the Flawless foundation, you can use this as a concealer because it's so high coverage. I'll show you in a minute. You don't really need to use another concealer. Just keep some back on your fingers. Hello, Melanie. Really want the palettes from your last video now. They look beautiful. They are. I was so delighted with them. Have you used the eye mask? Did I sleep like a... I did use the eye mask last night. And I did notice that my eye cream had stayed on a lot more. Like it hadn't... Because sometimes I think my eyes water in my sleep. And then I rub my eyes in my sleep. And I don't notice my skincare around my eyes. It doesn't feel as moisturised in the morning. I definitely felt my eyes were more moisturised. And I think actually yesterday, looking at the video, looking back, my eyes look quite crinkly underneath, which, I mean, you can't get rid of wrinkles, but you can moisturise them so they look less noticeable. And I think they look less noticeable today than they did yesterday. So I think it really does help your skincare to kind of seep in. But what I did find is I woke up halfway through the night and the mask was off. So I think just automatically I must have pulled it off in my sleep. Now I'm just taking the neutral shade. Just checking that, no, that wasn't the neutral shade. Well done. Let's get the neutral one this time. Right, I'm just going to take the neutral shade, which is slightly fairer. So I've been mixing warm and neutral, and now I'm just taking the neutral shade on the tip of my finger, and I'm going to dot that round my eyes because this is such high coverage that you really don't need to get a separate concealer with this foundation. You can just use it on the tip of your finger as a concealer, like that. Now, the reason I'm using neutral is because the neutral looks a bit fairer. So it will give me that under eye brightening effect. So if you're warm toned and you use a neutral concealer, it will give you the brightening effect without you going down a shade. I need to win the lottery. I know it is expensive. I put money aside for Charlotte Tilbury, but it means that I don't have an awful lot left to buy other brands when people, you know, a lot of people saying, can you try this, can you try that? And I have to be very selective because I get most things Charlotte Tilbury, so I have to manage my finances very well indeed for my hobby. So I have to resist things like ABH sometimes and other brands, because I also know that a lot of people follow me for my Charlotte Tilbury, and because I've come to know the range so well, I kind of want to get her new releases and try them out. So I tend to prioritise those. But it is expensive. You always get your Charlotte Tilbury from John Lewis. That's good. And sometimes a lot of sites like Cult Beauty, when they have offers on, they exclude certain brands from their offers, and they always exclude Charlotte Tilbury. But John Lewis, when they have offers on over Christmas, they often include Charlotte Tilbury, so you can often get 10% off when they're having a sale on. So it's worth checking out John Lewis, especially if you're, going for something like the night cream, because it's £100. So you like when they've got their 10% off or 15% off, that's a large chunk of money off it. So it's definitely worth. And as I said last year, when she did her trio with the eye cream, the magic cream, and the magic night cream for £50, that was a bargain. But then John Lewis reduced it by another 10%, which is why I bought a second one. I thought, wow. So basically you were getting the eye cream. I remember it was £50 and it's £50 now. So you get the eye cream full size, which is £40. You get the magic cream travel size, which is something like £25-30, and you get the travel size night cream, which is £35, and you get it in a set for £50. So that's already a bargain, because you're getting the night cream and the day cream for a tenner. But then John Lewis reduced it by 10% last year, and it was even cheaper. Try Feel Unique. You can pick a favourite brand and get money off it. I knew about you buying samples. You can pick a favourite brand and get money off it, and when you spend so much, you get another £5 off. And do they exclude certain brands though, or do they actually include Charlotte Tilbury in that offer? Because a lot of sites like Cult Beauty exclude Huda and Charlotte Tilbury, and I think Anastasia Beverly Hills. So when they're doing their 15% off or any kind of things, they exclude those brands. But if Feel Unique don't, then that's definitely worth looking at. Right, I shall put some powder on now, and then I will get going with this look. I'm waiting for John Lewis to get the Christmas Charlotte Tilbury in. Yeah, and sometimes the other thing about John Lewis is that sometimes, if you watch carefully, because she doesn't advertise it very well when this happens, but sometimes John Lewis do an exclusive Charlotte Tilbury. So say if she brings out a lipstick or an eyeshadow or something, sometimes John Lewis will bring out an exclusive shade. So I bought one of them, actually. I think eventually she bought it out herself. Bought a couple of things that way. One was the instant look in a palette in the one before last, the one before that's just come out. Initially, it was exclusive to John Lewis, and I bought it months before it was available on Charlotte Tilbury's website. And the other one that I got that was exclusive from John Lewis was the Hollywood lips in the bright red that looked sort of more tomato red. And it was in a name that I always get confused, because it sounds like Walk of Shame, Hall of Fame. I think it was called Hall of Fame or Hall of Shame, something like that. But her names are all so similar, they confuse me. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye out. What they might do is bring out an exclusive shade of her Superstar lips, because they like doing that. What powder am I putting on? Thank you, Linda, for bringing me back to what I'm doing. I'm just putting on some Airbrush Flawless Finish powder in shade 2, and I just might get a little bit of shade 1 to put under my eyes. But can you see that works beautifully as a concealer? So you don't actually have to use a separate concealer. Just put a little bit of the Airbrush Flawless Foundation on the tip of your finger and dab that on as you would a concealer, because it's so high coverage that you don't really need to use a separate one. So I'm just using shade 1 now under my eyes because it's a bit more brightening. And that's a Tilbury trick she talked about on her website. She does that a lot with people, is use shade 1 under the eyes. just to brighten the eyes, and then you can put it down the middle of your face just to highlight the centre of your face very subtly. Right, that's my foundation done and dusted. Let me move that out of the way. And then I am going to get a palette of pops. Now what I might do is put a colour chameleon on as a base, because that really does help the palette of pops to stick. And I can think of a really good one actually to put on as a base. I just had a thought as we were talking. This is what happens. I get spontaneous ideas. Where are my eye pencils? I put them here somewhere. There you are. Excuse me a second. I'm just organising all my stuff. Let me get a colour chameleon. So we're going to use this palette of pops, and I just thought a really, really good base for this would be bronze garnet. So I'm just looking for my bronzed garnet. I've just ordered this palette, can't wait for it to arrive. It is beautiful. I love burgundies, I really do. Come on, bronze garnet, where are you? Will be buried right at the bottom, you can bet. Ah, what one's that? That's dark pearl. No, it's not that one, it's not that one, and it's not that one. Excuse me a second while I look for bronze garnet. Here we are, bronze garnet, and it needs a sharpen. Right, some messy. Were you in the sun or did you self-tan? Me? I must have been in the sun. I tell you what, no, I don't use self-tan. I think also it's this light today. I think I've caught the sun a little bit. I don't tend to sunbathe or anything, but because I'm half Indian, if I go out in the sun, I just tan. And I've been a bit lax with my putting on my sunscreen, which is naughty, but it's just with the move and everything. I've just been a little bit not as good, which means that I'm going to get more pigmentation marks. But that's probably why. Yeah, I don't use... The only self-tan that I've ever used, I have used Charlotte's, but I don't tend to use it specifically for self-tanning. What I sometimes do is if my my neck is looking quite pale because I don't go out and, you know, I cover up, and my face gets it often when I'm driving, then I'll put some down here, or just if I'm feeling a bit tired and pale, I'll put some of that, but I've run out of it, so I haven't used that for a while. Anyway, I'm going to use some bronze garnet, colour chameleon. This one is an old one, and it's probably needs to go soon, but I got a new one sent to me, but I won't open it until this one is really dead. I don't, once you open them, then they start drying up. But colour chameleons don't keep well. You are better getting the colours that you like and using them than getting lots of different ones. Because once you open them, they do start to dry and they don't apply as well once they're a bit older. They're still okay, especially if you sharpen them, but they're just not as good as when they were new. So I'm just using bronze garnet as a base because I think this will work really well with this palette of pops. And I'll put a little bit under my eyes as well. How are you doing? Hope all is well with you and Jack. Hello, Sarah. Nice to see you. I haven't been on the Shine pages for a long time because of the move and everything. But say hi to it. I don't know if you're on the Shine pages, but that's how I know Sarah. But yeah, I'm fine. I hope you're well. Right, now, here we are with the palette. Can you see how that works well? It's going to work well underneath this. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to do what I did with the Pillow Talk one. So I'm going to take the prime shade and pop it. Now you're going to see what I mean about the duochrome. Can you see it looks pink? But when you turn, it looks gold. Sorry, my fingers look terrible. Let me just clean them off a minute. You see, it's sort of gold and pink all at the same time. It's beautiful, this shade. So as you turn, you see golds and pinks. I think I have the bronze one once on it. Doesn't budge. No, it doesn't budge. No, the Colour Chameleon does not budge at all. I'm glad this is showing up today because it didn't show up as well on my video, I didn't think. But you can really see it now because that Colour Chameleon underneath is helping it to pop through. And yet, look, in the pan, it doesn't look pink at all, does it? Sort of does a little bit as you turn it in the pan. Okay, now I'm going to go in with the enhanced shade. So I'm going to put that on the other side of my lid and blend them together a bit and up into the socket. And I'm doing all this with my fingers. You can do them. I've seen people using these palette of pops with brushes, but I don't think they apply as well. You just don't get the best out of them. I think they are far better being warmed up with your fingers. Just take that a little bit into the socket like that. And then with my pinky, I'll take some of that underneath. That's what I love about these palette of pops as well, is that you can put them on with your fingers. It looks like Stylishly Merry by MAC. Do you know what I was wondering? That it reminded me of a few shades by MAC, those duochromes that they do, and certainly blushes. But I haven't seen Stylishly Merry, but they're definitely MAC do a lot of shadows like that. So I believe you. So there you go. So you can see you've got the pink and then you've got the enhanced shade at the other side. I'm just going to take that one in a little bit further, like so. And then I'm going to take my fourth finger and I'm going to take the smoke shade. Thank you. And I'm going to tuck that in here and up, pressing it against that bone. And all this is with your fingers. So anybody here that has coordination problems, don't worry, I'm going to blend some of this in a minute. Anyone that's got coordination problems, these are perfect palettes for you because you can do it all with your fingers and it won't look like you've applied it with your fingers at all. And then I'll take a bit underneath. Don't worry, I'm going to blend it in a second. This one's starting to water now. That's all right, I'll just make it pop a bit more. So you can really, really smoke this out. Now I'm just going to take my other finger and blend that out. They blend really easily, as you can see. I hardly had to do anything there. And the Colour Chameleon really works well underneath. Definitely recommend the Colour Chameleon. Even if you don't have bronze garnet. I mean, it's nice to have a complementary shade, but it will just help the shades to stick. There you go. And I'll just put a little bit more in that corner just to build up the intensity. Yeah, Terry, it is with these pop shades because of the way they're formulated. They're quite emollient. So when you dip your finger in them, the heat of your finger is warming them up, which is why sometimes when you apply a pop shade, you'll notice when you first go to put it on, it doesn't apply very well. When you go back in and you do the second eye, it always looks more pigmented. And that's because the heat of your fingers is warming up the stuff that's emollient in it, and it's helping it to stick. So you can imagine if you're applying these with brushes, it just doesn't have the same effect. Now, I'm saving the best till last. I'm just putting some of that prime shade, although I'm not sure about using this because of its pinkness, so I'm going a bit easy on it. There and there, and then you saving the best till last. Right over both of those, I'm going to take, this is my favourite. Oh, I love it. This and this one. I could do a look with these two. This one and this one, because I just think they're gorgeous. So, and I tell you what this would look very good over is the Dolce Vita palette as well. And the Vintage Vamp. Now, when I go back in, you'll see that applies better. Just popping that in the middle. So we've got golds and pinks, and we've got burgundies, and we've got all sorts going on. But I bet you it doesn't look like you've applied your eyeshadow with your fingers. You're my favourite to watch. Do you have a set amount of videos you upload per week, or just when you want to upload? I try and do weekly live on Wednesday, except in exceptional circumstances. And I try and do at least one other non-live. I try to do more than one, but recently, because I've just moved and I've got a lot going on, I haven't done as many as I was doing. But I try to do, at the very least, my live on Wednesday and another one that's not live. But normally I'll probably do more. When things settle down here, I'll be doing more. And certainly when I move to my permanent place and I have my setup all there in my dressing table. At the moment, I'm having to pull things out of boxes because we're moving again. So I have to pull it all out, set it up, and then put it all back again. Once I'm all set up in a beauty room, then I'll be able to do a lot more. But yeah, so the answer to that question is one live and one non-live as a minimum. But normally I try to do 2 non-lives and 1 live a week. But thank you. I'm glad that you like my videos. I love doing them. I really love doing them. I'm not committed by anybody to do it, so I don't have any affiliates. If you do, sometimes you have to put out a certain number of videos a week. And I'm glad, actually, because I think it's important. I think it comes across when you're doing a video if you don't really want to do one. I think you need to love what you do. If you love what you do, then people will pick up on that. If you don't love what you do, or you're doing it because you feel you should, then I think people will pick up on that too. So I try to... Brilliant, thank you. I watched some videos and I'm catching up on all I haven't watched before I found your channel. Oh, that's Great. I do sometimes see your comments popping up on old videos. And when you ask a question, I have to catch up with that video. It's great, though, because I'm thinking, oh, what video was that? Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I talked about that, or I talked about this. Right. Now, I'm going to get what I used yesterday. My eye is starting to water again. I think it's particularly sensitive at the moment. I'm going to look for Elizabeth Violet, because that goes very nicely with this palette. Where's my Elizabeth Violet? What's that one? Nope. Nope. Here we are. So Charlotte does a rock and coal pencil in purple, sort of Elizabeth Violet. And it goes beautifully with this. I'm just going to give this a sharpen as well. This eye's going to start watering now. See? Right. So I'm just taking that as low down on the lash line as I can. I'm not going to hang about too much on this eye because once it starts watering, doing anything to it makes it just water even more. That'll do. Now, I did promise I was going to do some comparisons with the Instant Look in a palette, so I'm going to come away from this look in a minute. I'm not going to put any mascara on for now. I'll put up a sort of final picture on Instagram later, and I'll put some lipstick on. But I did say that I was going to show you some of my instant looks in a palette. Do you know what? I think I'm going to do that in a separate video, if you don't mind, and I'll film that this afternoon, because I haven't bought my instant look in a palettes with me, which means I'm going to have to go and dig them out for box. And this could go on quite a long time. But what I will do is I'll use the instant look in a palette to do my cheeks. And where are you? There you are. Instant look in a palette to do my cheeks and to do my bronzer. And I will do a separate video, so I will compare this one with, so she bought out 4 before now. So this one is the 5th instant look in a palette. So there was, first of all, there was Natural Beauty, which is very, very subtle. Then she bought out one called Seductive Beauty, which was more for the evening. And it had, they were quite cool toned dark shades. Then she brought out Beauty Glow, which is probably the closest one to this. But if you imagine less reds and more of the browns and bronzes, that was Beauty Glow. Then she brought out Smoky Eye. I think it was called Smoky Eye, or Smoky Eye Till I Die or something. And that had a black in it. And again, it was cool toned. And then she's brought out this one. And I think this is going to be my favourite. But I definitely think that this is different enough. The only thing that I'm not sure about is, I wish I'd bought this, I should have got my assistant down. But I wanted to check whether this, I'll do that in the video, whether this was Pillow Talk blush. Because it looks like it could be. And she often throws in a blush that she's already brought out. Beauty Glow is lovely, and I think this might have overtaken Beauty Glow for me. I'm going to put on, I'm not using this as a sculpt shade, it's too warm, but I will use this as a bronzer. So here is the bronzer. It's a lovely bronzer as well. It reminds me, the shade reminds me a lot of the Physicians Formula bronzer that I have, which I broke. It shattered, and my niece has bought me another one back from the States. But I haven't managed to link up with her yet, so I haven't got it yet. But this is a lovely bronzer, really nice. Now, if you're darker, you might want to build it up. If you're fairer, just go light-handedly with it. I'll show you what that looks like. Can you see it's sort of quite... It looks quite like my skin tone, to be honest. Now, and then I'm going to use the blush. I'm going to use it with my bronzing brush. And this is the Swish. So the Swish shade is quite... It's like a highlighter. So that's what made me think of Pillow Talk. I must check that, and I will put that out in my next video and see whether this is a Pillow Talk. Has anyone else that's reviewed it, because I don't look at anyone else's videos until I've done my reviews. Has anyone else said that it's Pillow Talk, this blush? Because I do wonder if I can get my hands on my blush. I don't think I can, though. No. I'll definitely put that in my next video and let you know. And then I'm going to take this brush here and use the highlighter shade. So these two palettes go beautifully together. And as I did yesterday, if you get both, you could put these on your eyes first and then use one of the pops out the palette of pop shades, or use a couple. Can't remember what Wayne Goss said about the blush. Stacey, which palette is your favourite and what is your skin tone? I wasn't that... I liked the last one, but it wasn't my comfort zone. I did like it. And it kind of... I thought it had overtaken Beauty Glow at the time. But it was quite cool toned. So I tend to like the warmer ones because of my skin tone. I love natural glowing beauty because it's just... I was saying to one of you that when my son went into hospital, I took that with me so that when I got up in the morning, it was one of those that you can put on. You don't look made up, but you don't look dead, you know, to the world. So it was really good to get some colour back into my cheeks and look like I was kind of together rather than an anxious wreck. But really quick, because these are great to take on holiday with you. I did see one review, I'm not going to mention names, and it wasn't of this, it was of a previous instant look in a palette. And the criticism lodged about this, I thought was... I couldn't really understand. The criticism lodged was they aren't big enough to get your brushes in. And I just thought, you're missing the point. This is an instant look in a palette. This is to go away with you. It's so that you can put it in your bag to go on a weekend away. So, yeah, you're not going to get a massive brush in there because it's meant for travel. But actually, I can get my bronzer brush in there absolutely fine. You know, if you want a bronzer that you can get a great big bronzing brush in and swirl it round, then that's something that you just get a separate bronzer for. I couldn't understand that criticism at all. But everyone has their opinions, and we can agree and disagree with them, and that's what's so great. I'm not going to do my brows. I'm just going to put on some lipstick now because I have got my lipsticks with me. What lipstick would you like to see with this? Any ideas? Name your lipstick. I'm not putting mascara on because my eyes are starting to water. Beauty Glow out of all the instant palettes. I agree, Beauty Glow was lovely. Secret Salma. You want Secret Salma on, yeah? Bond Girl. All right, I tell you what, I'll mix them both. I'll do Bond Girl with Secret Salma in the middle. You're all... Karina's Star. I think Karina's Star is a little bit... I know you love Karina's Star, don't you, Linda? Karina's Star is a bit too orange toned for this look. But I'll do Secret Salma and Bond Girl together. Let me just get my lipsticks. Right, Bond Girl. I tend to know generally where they all are because they're in colour order. There's Bond Girl, and then I need Secret Salma. So it's going to be near that one because that's very Victoria. So we're getting close to it. Linda's obsessed with Karina's Star. Come on, Secret Salma. You must be getting there. There we are, Secret Salma. I've got them in shade order. So when I'm looking, I can kind of get to them. One of the comments I made to Sophia Tilbury, by the way, is that they should make the lipsticks so that the flat end doesn't have the name on it, but the curved end has the name on it. So that when you put them in your lipstick holders, you can actually see the name at the top. Now, I want a lip liner. Where are my lip liners gone? Hang on a minute. I know where that is, but I do have to get up. Just hold on. Right. Lip liner. Let's just use Pillow Talk. That will do. Oh, it was still all coming out with different... Glowing Jen. Glowing Jen would go well with it. Terry, you're a coral girl too. I'm a coral girl. I love corals as well. But I don't think it would go with this look. So I'm going to put on Bond Girl. Just had to check then. It's this light. It made it look too fair. And then in the middle, I'm going to put some Secret Salma. There you are. Secret Salma to kind of highlight in the middle. Now, who said Glowing Jen? Glowing Jen would go well with it as well. Let me show you Glowing Jen. If I can find Glowing Jen. Yes. Glowing Jen. I'll put that on my hand so you can see what that would look like. Glowing Jen would look beautiful with this as well. Did anyone mention any other lipsticks? The Light Chasm palette's the most beautiful palette on fair skin. Do you know what, Stacey? I ummed and ahed about whether or not to get the Light Chasm palette because obviously I'm not light skinned. And I ended up, oh, I've got something in my eye now. I ended up using it. This is when all my makeup gets ruined. I ended up using it on more than the dark one. Because I just loved the blush on it, and it works really well. I'm starting to wonder if I'm allergic to some of Charlotte. Wouldn't that be terrible if I was actually allergic to Charlotte's makeup after everything? Because my eyes have just started streaming. I can't be allergic to it. I just have to take... If that was the case, I'd just have to take an antihistamine before applying her makeup. I just could not ever give up Charlotte Tilbury's makeup. I need gloss. I need gloss. Okay. All right. Have I got my glosses near me? Just hold on a minute. I might have to just go off camera for a second, all right? Just bear with me. And if I find that blush palette, the blush one of Pillow Talk, I will bring it back with me. So just talk amongst yourselves for a second. So you want me to get some glosses. Right, 1 second. Let me see if I can, while I'm off camera, let me see if I can get you from my other box, the Pillow Talk blush, to show you that against the Instant Looking palette. Come on, blushes. Come on, blushes. Come on, blushes. Here we go. Right, I can finally show you Pillow Talk against that Instant Looking palette as well. Excuse all the boxes in the background, guys. It's definitely the light that's making me look orange. I don't look that orange. Jack, darling. Jack. Are you lying down, sweetheart? I don't want that one. Oh, hang on. No, that's not the lip. It's not the lip ones. Sorry about this, guys. Do you know what? I didn't bring my lip glosses, but pigment is pigment. I picked up the wrong box. So what I am going to do is, because pigment is pigment, I am going to put on some Pinkgasm over this lipstick. That's Goldgasm. Come on, get it together, girl. Here we go. It said other lip collections rather than other lip products. I've got them all marked up. I'm going to use a bit of Pinkgasm over the top of this lipstick, so it's going to look like a gloss. Right, now, Pillow Talk. Let me show you the Pillow Talk blush. Let me find Pillow Talk before I go, because I've been dying to see whether this is Pillow Talk. Love Glow. Pillow Talk. Pillow Talk. Right, okay. So just from looking at this, the swish is more terracotta, which is what I thought when I saw it yesterday. But that pop shade looks very similar. So let me just have a look. So Here is the Pillow Talk pop. Okay, and then on this finger, I'm going to put the pop from this Instant Look in a palette. Very similar, possibly slightly darker. Very, very similar indeed. Now, if I take the swish, I'm going to take the swish of Pillow Talk on this finger. I'm not doing the arm swatches because they don't swatch very well on the arm, these. So that's like a warm terracotta. And then on my thumb, I'm going to take this one. And it's pinker, which is what I said. So the swish is very like the pop shade from the Pillow Talk Cheek to Chic. But the other one is pinker. And that's more terracotta. That's more like Love Glow. So it's like a mixture. It's a hybrid of Love Glow and Pillow Talk. Right, I'm better go before my eyes completely stream all over the place and go and get a tissue. I'm going to have a look at your comments before I go. I haven't got any tissue here. I've only got wipes. Has anyone compared the Lovegasm to HB ambient lighting edit? That would be a good comparison. I have got the HB ambient lighting palette, so I could have a look at that. You think you'll invest in Lovegasm? Have a look at Lightgasm if you're fair skin, or even if you're dark skin. I think Lightgasm is it. They're both very different. One's warmer, but the Lightgasm has got this lovely duochrome pink blush, which again reflects gold, a little bit like this actually, but it's pink and it reflects gold, and it reminds me of MAC's Beaming Blush. The same sort of thing, really beautiful. The darker one has got its own kind of beauty, but it's a warmer kind of shade. So I am going to go now, and I'll see you all. Thank you all for joining me. I'm going to say goodbye to some of the people that I haven't mentioned that have joined since I started. So we've got, if I miss you, then it's not deliberate because I hate missing people out. But I'm just going to scroll through until a little while back and then say hello to anybody that I see that is new. So before I go, so Jamie D. Ramo, thank you so much for saying the makeup looks beautiful on me. And DV, oh, now it's gone off. DV Hansen, hello. That's DV Hansen. And then we've got D3B Star in London, hello. And DV Hansen from Pennsylvania. Oh, you're all sharing your location. Hello, Leslie. Hello, Julie H. Hello, Shazia. Hello, Shahina. I think I've already said hello to you. I said hello to Stacey and Linda, and I said hello to Gemma. Hello, Robin. Oh, you joined us. And Beauty Horizon. Hello, you made it just before I was leaving again, but at least I've managed to say hello to you. If I've missed you, as I said, Julie H. Did I mention Julie H. and Stacey Frost? No, of course I've mentioned Stacey Frost. She's been here from the start. Okay, I think that's everybody. But if I've missed you, I've not done it on purpose. Okay, take care. Have a lovely day. And I'll do a comparison video with the other four instant looking at palettes. I'm off now to get a tissue urgently to stop my eyes streaming all over the place. All right, take care. Have a lovely day. Thank you. I will. Bye-bye.